Good morning on this Sunday. Thanks so much for checking in with us here at Atlanta News First Plus. I'm Megan Packer. Happy Father's Day. Hope your day's off to a great start. We're here to let you know what's happening with news, what's making headlines this morning. We will, of course, give you your first alert forecast in just a moment because I know you're probably trying to figure out if you can get outside with Dad today, maybe dodge those showers. So stay tuned for our forecast coming up in just a minute with a new member of our First Alert weather team. But right now, let's talk about what's making news on this Sunday morning. Really busy weekend if you've been with us all weekend long. Of course, we're talking a lot about the protests that have been happening. We saw them here in Atlanta and nationwide. Now, in DeKalb County, yesterday, there were some protests that kind of took a turn. 8 people ended up getting arrested during some anti-ICE demonstrations there. There was certainly a clash between demonstrators and law enforcement. This happened at the ICE Out protest along Chamblee-Tucker Road. Police say protesters tried to march toward the interstate ramp, and in response, officers deployed tear gas to keep protesters on the sidewalk. Again, we know at least 8 were arrested. We are working to learn about the charges that they faced today, if there may have been more that were taken into custody out there. You can see it was this pretty heavy police presence there. Again, all unfolding in DeKalb County. So keep it here as we work to learn more from the sheriff's office and police departments in DeKalb, and we'll let you know what we learn about those arrests. Now, in other parts of the city yesterday in Metro Atlanta and really the nation, this is what it looked like for the No King's Day demonstrations. And in Atlanta, they remained peaceful. Thousands came out to the Georgia State Capitol, Liberty Plaza there right across the street from the Capitol for just a demonstration against really President Donald Trump, his administration, what some people call authoritarian rule. This is just one of many protests that were held across the country yesterday. We saw them in different metro Atlanta cities. There were about 30 planned for the state of Georgia and thousands across the U.S. Again, really one of the big ones here was in Atlanta, downtown in Liberty Plaza. And again, they remained peaceful. Some of them, ended up joining in with the Juneteenth parade that was happening throughout the city of Atlanta. And our team was really there just observing everything and talking to people and hearing people's different reasons of why they wanted to come out. And from downtown to the 17th Street Bridge. Here's what it looked like in this part of Midtown. Huge crowd gathered on the bridge on both sides of the street there. But from what we saw, they did stay here on the sidewalk. They were out of the way. Cars could get by, so no issues blocking traffic or anything like that. Hundreds gathered there to protest, again, what some call authoritarianism within the current U.S. government, just voicing their displeasure with where things stand right now. Now, amid all of these protests and demonstrations that were happening yesterday, there was also this. A group of senior citizens were out in Brookhaven protesting their own issues. The group Stand Up, Speak Out organized the event to let the seniors protest proposed federal policies that are expected to harm their community. They are mostly concerned with possible cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security. So they were set up here at the corner of Peachtree Road and Club Drive in Brookhaven yesterday morning. And if you head to our website and our app, atlantanewsfirst.com, and the Atlanta News First free app, it's free to download. We are keeping you updated all weekend long as all of these stories really just kind of continue to wrap up. And another big story that we have to talk about today is it's Father's Day. So happy Father's Day. If you're looking for something to do with Dad today, just a quick note. In Gwinnett County, the Gwinnett Stripers are playing today. They're going to have the ball game. 1:05 is first pitch, but then they're having a picnic as well. There's the food, the drinks, the fun. The picnic actually starts at noon, an hour before the game. So just something to keep in mind if you're looking for something to do with Dad today. So we hope you have a wonderful day. Of course, the big question is, will the weather cooperate? It's just been a string of First Alert weather days that we've been dealing with. And yes, today is also a First Alert weather day. So I'm going to bring in now First Alert meteorologist Isaac Williams. He is the newest member of our First Alert weather team. Isaac, we want to say welcome, and you are getting right to work because it's a busy First Alert weather day for you. So tell us what we can expect.
Thanks, Megan. Yes, First Alert weather day today. You can see here that we are dealing with some cloudiness out there this morning, as well as earlier this morning, some patchy fog. But right now things are looking mostly cloudy, but it is dry out there this morning. which is some good news for plans if you're about to head out and about, maybe for a brunch or an early lunch. We are looking good. But it is a first alert weather day out there. We've got storm potential again this afternoon and into this evening. About a 40% coverage of storms expected. Again, this is going to be primarily after lunch. Again, back to Lake Lanier this morning, a mostly cloudy start. It looks like it may be about to rain out there, but radar generally clear across the region. The temperature still holding in the 70s, so it is still fairly comfortable out there. It's, of course, humid, it's warm, it's muggy, but it's not too bad with the cloudiness kind of keeping the sun from heating us up too much so far on this Father's Day Sunday morning. Around the southeast, we note big storms between Oklahoma City and Dallas, Texas. Those are dropping southward across the Lone Star State. Unlike yesterday, though, we don't really have any big storms in Mississippi or Tennessee, but we do still see a few lightning strikes there on the map south of Nashville. And again, I still expect with that area of low pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere spinning about Kentucky, I think that will send us another round of at least isolated storms this afternoon a little later on in the day. A closer look here across the region here, we do have, again, some of those lightning strikes showing up south of Nashville and Murfreesboro in Tennessee. But notice the showers, the storm part is weakening, I should say, but the rain chance there still sticking around. And some of those could affect the Georgia mountains in the next couple of hours. But yesterday was a big soaker for some of us. Check out the rain totals. Very much resembling a June afternoon in North Georgia where some of us got barely enough to measure. Metro Atlanta in and around the city getting between a half an inch and an inch of rain. Certainly some of you seeing more and less. The airport, I believe, getting about a quarter of an inch. And then down to the south and east between Griffin and Eatonton, we saw almost 4 inches of rain fall there. So depending on where you were yesterday, it was definitely a very heavy, rainy day. Others not seeing as much wet weather. The latest computer models, I think, showing, again, these scattered downpours and storms. Now, I don't expect the busy level of storms that we got yesterday, which was we had 10, 15 thunderstorm warnings issued almost. So we may see a couple of those today, but I don't think it's going to be as windy and busy and stormy as yesterday. But we know people are going to be kind of coming and going in and out throughout the afternoon and early evening. Maybe you're taking dad to dinner instead of brunch or lunch. And certainly if you are out and about, just be aware that some of those downpours could impact some plans, and they will continue into the late afternoon and evening hours. Here's a look at 8 p.m. again. First Alert Futurecast still painting on the chance at a few lingering showers and storms out there. The 7-day forecast after today, we're going to continue a few storms each afternoon next week. Now, the coverage day to day, Monday through Wednesday, looks about the same. It may be a little more, it may be a little less, depending on the day. We also note the temperature will be inching up a couple of degrees, staying shy of 90 still. And then we're looking at Thursday to be maybe the final push of some of this soggy weather moisture pattern that we're dealing with. And that's a 50% chance of storms there on Thursday. For Friday and Saturday, notice the rain chance almost completely falls off Friday, and it does fall off Saturday. 20% Friday, 0% Saturday. Of course, this could change. It's 6 to 7 days away, but we've been seeing consistent signal in our computer models to show that we are having a chance to almost fully dry out toward the end of next week, and we still see that. So that's the reason that I have dropped the rain chance off completely Saturday. But notice the trade-off. The rain chance comes to 0, but the temperature does sneak into the 90s. We're looking at least 92. Some of our computer models, though, are printing a little hotter than that. That is a trend that sometimes we see in the medium range of our computer models. We're not ready to commit to anything too crazy yet, but 92 is certainly hotter than we have seen pretty much this entire month. So that's something that maybe sneaking into the forecast next weekend is not really the storm chance, but the heat and humidity. So that's something that we will continue to keep you posted on throughout the course of this upcoming week. We're kind of entering into the second half of June, and the first half, of course, was very soggy and stormy at times. The second half, at least for the first few days, staying about the same, but maybe by next Friday and Saturday, we can almost fully drop the rain chance for a little while as we welcome or not welcome, depending on your tolerance for heat. Those temperatures starting at 90+ degrees. The overnight lows, of course, staying around the lower 70s. Again, of course, you can stay updated throughout the afternoon with the First Alert Weather app. Of course, that's a great tool and resource to have. If you are on the go, it will let you know if heavy rain or lightning is detected, of course, and we will also continue to keep you posted, JD, again this afternoon and tonight with the latest on the week's forecast.
Stay up to date on your latest weather from the largest team of meteorologists in the Southeast. Download the First Alert Weather app for hour-by-hour forecasts and join us every weekday at 11:30 a.m. on ANF+. You can also text WEATHER to the number on your screen, and we'll send a link directly to your cell phone.